Hey, what's up? It's me, Donnie, back again. Can't remember what episode we're on anymore because I've been doing this for a while now, and it's been great. I want to thank everyone who's been watching and sticking with me while I'm talking if they're just trying to watch the beat or watching the beat when they just want to hear what I have to talk about. I appreciate both audiences and the audiences that like both. Uh, to some people it might not look like a lot of numbers, but like I'm super geeked about getting positive comments and even breaking 100 views on some of these videos. Like, man, that's a hell of an accomplishment for me, considering I did a type beat channel for 3 years and I think I broke 100 views like 3 times. So, it's a pretty big deal to go from like 14 views to 100 on every single video that you put out. So, thank you for watching. I really appreciate that. At least I'm not doing this for nothing. But anyway, yeah, welcome back again. Here we are. Here we are. We're back in the studio. We're back in the grow room. I've been getting this message really frequently since I opened the studio back up for recording. And since I started working with new clients again and taking on new clients. But I've been getting this message a lot about how to start making music. People who want to make music and where do they start? All right. And a lot of times they're starting from point zero, and that's totally fine. But it's really hard to explain what to do from that point because there's so many ways you can go. So I'm going to try to tackle a few that come to mind during this video. And we're going to cook up a fire ass beat like always in Reason 12. So stick with me. We're going to talk about this. So let's get right into the beat, though, for now. We'll come back to this. All right. I'll see you guys in a minute. All right. Peace. So, anyway, the age old question. I want to make music, but where do I start? It's such a tough thing to answer, even from somebody in my position who's been doing this for a really long time and has a good grasp of it all. One of the easiest ways that you could attempt to start making music is to just do it. And I know I say that in every video, and I know it's like pretty cliche at this point because you probably hear it everywhere, but it's the truth. If you want to write songs, you got to start writing songs. You can't worry about if it's right or it's wrong, you just have to do it. And the more that you do it, the more that your brain, your subconscious, will naturally start paying attention to elements in other songs that you like. And you might not know the technical terms of what's happening there, but you'll just start doing it in your own music if you start paying more attention. To know what's happening there and to understand it without actually knowing any technical terms at all, just to start picking up on these things and figuring out how to do them, and to have a general curiosity of how to achieve the same thing will take you so far in music. Usually these messages that I get are from people who want to sing or they want to rap. It's not always on the production side, but I do get that too, and we'll get to that in a second. But for now, we're going to focus specifically on people who want to be vocalists of some sort, who have never done anything. All right. There's a couple things that I usually tell these people to start with. And one of them is to start training their ear to hear things. Did you know that some people cannot tell the difference between a pitch going up or a pitch going down? Right? You might be one of those people. You might not even know it. Honestly, I get people all the time who had no idea. But the truth is, sometimes you hear shit backwards. And to break that, you have to train your ears. And it takes a lot of work, but it's passive work. All of this, it takes a lot of work, but it can be very passive work because it should be something that you enjoy doing anyway, right? So, if you really enjoy doing it, then you should just do it and then it'll just happen. As you ask the questions for fun, you'll get the answers for fun. It's fucking crazy how that works. And then the next thing for a vocalist would be to start learning about microphones. This is already too technical, but when I tell somebody that they should learn about mics, this is the path that they start going down, and it can get confusing and it can get overwhelming. But all I really mean is to understand the pickup pattern of a microphone. As you watch professional singers on stage, when they're belting out those high notes, that microphone is coming away from their face. But if I keep talking at the same volume while that's happening, it's going to start sounding like I'm getting further away. So to understand these things, and then on-axis and off-axis recording, like if I turn this microphone like this, all of a sudden my voice gets a little bit weird, or like this, or if I sing into it from the back, if I'm really close to it, or I'm really far away from it. If I get too far away, you start hearing a lot of the room, you start hearing a lot of the high end of my voice and not as much of the low end, and so on and so forth. It's important to know these skills, and they truly are skills. These are things that if you can master them as a vocalist, you're already 9/10 of the way there for getting what you want on a recording. And then you'll be ready to hit the studio and do all the stuff that you want to do. But just to get to that point, though, I would say pick yourself up any microphone that you can get your hands on that's for vocals. Even a 58 would be a good start, just like that one right over there. And even this, they're like $100 or less. You get yourself an interface and practice at home. Write songs, listen to them, analyze them, put them side by side with songs that you already like and sounds that you're trying to go for. And sharpen your knife before you ever even leave the house. Get confident in your skills before you ever even go to a studio. Yeah, so was all that too much for you? Just wait. It gets a little bit worse, I ain't gonna lie. The next path that I would take for possibly becoming a vocalist or a musician in some way would be to find other musicians. So that's going to require you to socialize and network and get out there and meet people. It's also going to make you have to get out of your comfort zone a little bit and, maybe play outside your skill level for a little while. But the truth of the matter is, if you don't want to do it all yourself, you're going to need other people. You got to network. And unfortunately for a lot of us, socializing isn't always our strong suit. I know I'm not alone in this. So let's just face it. It's a little bit tough. But I've found that the more that you just do it, again, that's going to become the catchphrase of this fucking channel. I swear to God. I don't even want it to be. Because Nike's going to come for me someday when I'm at like 1 million subscribers or however many it takes for anybody on any type of radar to fucking see me. What was I saying now? Oh, yeah. So, you're going to have to find other people. If you don't want to write your own songs, but you want to be a vocalist, you're going to have to find songwriters. And to be honest, I would say that's a hard thing to do because not everybody's going to want to write songs the same way as you. And maybe not everybody's going to have the same vision as you did for whatever you're trying to do. You really have to find somebody you can trust to be a songwriter. And that can take some work too. Moral of the story, like any of these paths are going to take some work, but you just have to do it. All right, I think I talked enough about vocalists and songwriters. Now we're going to talk about the production side of it, making beats, making instrumentals, doing what I do, and how you get started with that. And the truth is, that's even harder for me to explain to people because, I already told the story in a previous video. You can go check that one out. When you really want to do this, anything is possible if you try. You can get a sequencer for cheap. There's so many programs. You can make beats in GarageBand on your computer, on your phone. You can get FL Studio on your phone now. Like it's I've made beats on my Nintendo Switch, on the Korg app game, whatever. It's got some fire sounds in it for real. Like the drums ain't that dope, but everything else is cool. Like you can make good stuff there. And that's what it always comes down to is like, okay, you just have to learn whatever you're going to be comfortable with arranging music in and how it works and, how to move things around so that they'll work together. And then another important thing for vocalists and producers is to be able to count music and understand the structure of it. Most songs, no matter how crazy they sound or no matter how out of control they get, they're usually following some kind of pattern. And you can always count it. Like that's what a time signature is so you can count the music. Even if you just learn the most basic 4 count, that will help you so much more in being able to like piece out what you're trying to do. And then when it comes to like digital production and digital music making, it's important to understand where the bars fit because it's going to make your life so much easier to put everything on a grid so that you can move it around. So the more that you can learn about any grid-based DAW program, they're all fucking grids. They all do the same thing. You make music, you slide it around on a grid, learn tempos, learn what a metronome is. If we're really going as basic as possible, like you should be learning all the ins and outs of the most basic functions of whatever you're going to use. In these videos, I use Reason 12. That's because that's what they taught me in college so many years ago, and I'm just comfortable with it. And can I use other stuff? Yeah, I have used other stuff. I've just taken the knowledge that I had from Reason and moved it over there. And 9 times out of 10, it just translates. If it's a good DAW, it will translate. Of course, there's going to be certain functions that maybe don't work from one to the other, but that's something that over time you can decide for yourself. Maybe you want, or maybe you don't want, maybe you don't care about those things. So, you should always keep that in mind. Things can change, but the most important thing is to get started. Don't let people fool you. You don't need the top of the line plugins. You don't need the best computer. You don't need really anything, dude. Like you can run at least the bare minimum of what you need to make beats on like an old ass computer. I still have a 2008 MacBook Pro that runs Logic Pro flawlessly. And then the next thing would be to, you don't need music theory, but you kind of need music theory. And it falls into the same concept of like writing music and then paying attention to songs that already existed and maybe not understanding the terminology of what's going on, but applying it to your own music. You should at least know music theory to that point to where you can start understanding, the most basic of chord progressions and starting to see them pop up when they do. People that are more advanced and people that take this shit way too seriously don't like to talk about the fact that every major key is the same and every minor key is the same. So technically you could just learn one scale really, really good and then learn its relative scale. And you would know every major and minor scale, or you could at least transpose them. And then even just knowing that little bit of information, that will make your music so much better because you already are figuring out what notes work together. That is like the most rudimentary version of music theory. Hopefully, I was able to answer some questions or at least get you to the point of asking more questions. If you have questions, I'll try to help in the comments if you comment down below. Or if you want to hear me talk about something more specifically, I'd be glad to do that for you too. Just go ahead and comment down below. Uh, it's a hard topic to cover, for real. You know, I could probably do 100 videos, and I probably will, about this same thing. You know, this is going to probably be a recurring theme because just a lot of people struggle with how to even start. And even I struggle with how I started. Like, I don't really know. I've been doing it forever. How do you tell people that? You know, how do you tell people, like, you were counting bars before you knew what counting bars was? That you were paying attention to where the root note was in a song before you knew what the hell that even meant? You know, like, how, I don't know. It's such a tough thing to talk about, but I try to talk about it because I want to help people. I've always wanted to help people. I feel like I am a helper. Like, naturally, I am somebody that people need. Damn it. And I want to help. I want to help, but I don't know how all the time. So hopefully I just keep chipping away at it while you guys listen to me talk. But in the meantime, this has been a good video, I think, overall. I've had a lot of fun talking about this. I always do. I enjoy this type of stuff, you know? This is where I really find my happy place, is talking about the most basic of shit and how complex it really gets, even on the fucking tip, you know? So, thanks for sticking with me. I'm about to play the beat for you guys. Uh, you know, make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't. Make sure that you're commenting down below. I really appreciate the positive comments that I get. Like, I know I don't always respond to people. I'm trying to get better at that, but you know, over time I think I will. But you know, don't stop because I'm not replying or whatever. Like, please just interact with me, man. This is cool to me. Like, I appreciate all of this. But yeah, hopefully I'll see you next time. And if not, thanks for watching this time. I'll see you around. Peace.